Ladies and gentlemen, we got a lot to talk about today. A couple days ago, we speculated on what the HK-47 login reward was going to be, and with my speculation, your guys' speculation, it looks like a lot of that stuff is going to pan out. I mean, we speculated a lot about this in my video a while ago. I thought there was some older public content going, maybe some Jedi. You guys thought about it too, and shout out to all you guys who called out the fact that it's the 15th anniversary of Knights of the Old Republic, and because of that, Galaxy of Heroes is going to add 5 characters from the KOTOR era, and a few of them are going to be Jedi, which makes Grandmaster Yoda's rework hopefully make more sense. We're going to get the Jedi Padawan Bastilla Shan, we're also going to get the Jedi Jolie Bindo, and we're also going to get the Twi'lek Mission Veo, the Wookiee, we're going to get some Wookiees, people, Big Z, Zalbar, and the lovable utility droid T3M4. So be sure to stay tuned for some gameplay reveal, hopefully in the near future, as well as the kit information, but I'm really excited for this. I mean, we speculated about it, and I said in my video that I don't think Revan's coming out this month because there's still a lot we need before we can have like a hero's journey or a legendary event for Darth Revan, and this is really building our way towards getting a Revan of some sort. As you know, Revan has a light side and dark side affiliation, so there's a good chance maybe we'll get the light side version of Revan. I don't know just yet, but this is kind of getting us excited, and this kind of for sure confirms that Revan is going to happen sometime in the future. If we don't get Revan by next year, I'm actually going to be very surprised. And really the last thing I want to talk about is the potential for the Jedi. When we got the Grandmaster Yoda rework, a lot of people were hoping that we were going to get some other reworks. Mace Windu, Anakin Skywalker, Aayla Secura, yada, yada, yada. The developers said that they aren't planning on doing any reworks for the Jedi anytime soon, but they also left it open that new Jedi could come into the game. And here we're seeing some new Jedi, so hopefully the addition of these Knights of the Old Republic Jedi will be helpful to take on the triumvirate and the huge Sith meta that we have going on right now. Pretty much the next big thing we got to talk about is mod management. Probably the biggest pain point in Galaxy of Heroes thus far is mod management. It's been said countless times on so many avenues, it sucks. And besides the fact that we're having the anniversary of the Knights of the Old Republic, we're also kind of hitting an anniversary of when mods have been introduced. And it's kind of funny, on Reddit, someone actually made a post earlier today kind of talking about the history of mods, and I'll link you to a video, but when mods first came out, they were a disaster. Balance was totally broken, like plus 90 speed on mods and whatnot, and it was a mess. But now they're kind of trying to make mods a bit more efficient and help out players, especially who don't quite understand mods, and to help a mod characters easier. Apparently they claim that a large portion of the player base don't use mods. What are you people doing? You gotta put your mods on the characters. Well, one of the focuses they're trying to do with the upcoming changes to mod management is clarity, ease of use, balance, and depth, so you kind of understand how mods work, how to utilize them on characters, and how to determine what's a good mod and what's a bad mod to invest in. So we're first going to talk about what's changing for beginner players and what's changing with the basics of understanding mods, and then we'll move on to the more advanced things, which I think people like me and many of you other guys will really appreciate, such as pre-saving mod loadouts, just saving a mod set and moving it around. Oh, thank Lord Jesus, it's finally coming. They're trying to help individuals who are starting to use mods or haven't used mods understand mods better, and they're going to have an auto-assign function for characters based on the recommended mods for that character. And I'm kind of a bit weary of this because they're showing a picture here of Darth Maul, for example, and if you don't want to deal with kind of looking through mods and figuring things out, because there are a lot of things to mods there's an auto-assign button that will assign that character from your inventory the best mod layout for that character. And for example, they show the recommended list for Darth Maul being a bunch of critical chance and critical damage mods, and then you'd be done. For a lot of beginner plays, that might be all you care about. For advanced players, this might not be the good thing, because I don't quite know yet, but what is the basis for a recommended mod for a character? Yes, hypothetically, critical damage for Darth Maul is absolutely amazing, but really Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes is all about speed, speed, speed. Take some speed, slap it on the character, and you're probably going to win the battle. At this point, for advanced players, speed takes priority over a mod set. People are willing to sacrifice a critical damage mod set for the benefit of getting a lot more speed on a character. So not sure what this recommended mods might be, but for advanced players, or if you want to progress in the future, you really got to focus more on speed than actual full sets. But for more advanced people, we're still going to have our advanced menu screen. So they have like the basic menu, and then they're still going to have the advanced menu, which is pretty much what we've been seeing for the longest time now in the game. It's going to be the typical layout, but now we're gonna get mod loadouts. Instead of continually ripping mods and putting them on a character, moving them around, now we can finally create a mod set, essentially, save it, kind of like your saved squad arenas, and just move it around. Thank goodness, finally, after all these years. Now we got some more mod stuff to talk about, but I was hoping we'd get some more mod management stuff. For example, when you go to swgh.gg, you can go to your profile and organize all the mods, like from the fastest speed to the lowest speed. It doesn't look like they're adding that just yet. Hopefully they have some sort of filter, so if I want to find my fastest mods, I don't have to go to swgh.gg to find them. I could just do it in the game, organize my fastest mods, and bada bing bada boom, we're good to go. From what I'm seeing here, doesn't look like they're adding that. Maybe they are still working on it, but that's something I'd also like to see added to all this mod management functionality. And now we're moving on to the last page about mods, and they're trying to pull up underused stats, aka defense. Defense is one of those mods that really sucks in the game. You don't get a lot of bang for your buck. If you see someone with the defense mod, it's probably because it has a lot of speed attached in the secondary. But they're trying to make underused mods a bit better, and they said they're trying to make it more powerful while not decreasing the value of existing sets that exist in the game. And more importantly, they're not going to be changing the speed stat. That was something I was very concerned about when I started reading this. The speed stat is staying the same, and the speed set is also staying the same. So no changes there, but things like defense, I'm guessing, will be increased, so they're a bit more viable. And lastly, this is something quite interesting. They're introducing a new feature called slicing. Now, one of the problems that I guess we kind of had in the game from their perspective is that when you leveled up a mod all the way, they're all going to be the same color. So it was really quite hard to see visually what mod was more superior than other ones, so you can kind of decide if you want to invest in that mod or not. Well, now they're introducing this new feature called slicing, so visually you have a better idea of how good a mod is. Right now we have it where gold mods are level 15, they have all secondary stats, and a gray mod is usually level 1, no secondary stats whatsoever. Well, now they're going to kind of change that notion. First of all, when you're leveling up your mods, the color is not changing. So if it's a gray mod, it's going to stay gray mod going all the way up to level 15. If it's a green or purple mod, it's going to stay at that color all the way up to level 15. So pretty much what I'm trying to say and what they're trying to say is that they're trying to separate improving the level of the mod from actually improving the tier of the mod. Two separate elements of a mod, and they're trying to associate the color with the tier of the mod rather than the level of the mod. Now, I hope I'm interpreting this next part correctly, because this was another concern that I had and a problem that I have and something I didn't like. We see it all the time. You see a mod in the mod store, or you got a mod from an event or from the mod the mod battles or whatever, and you're like, this might be a good mod, but I don't know what the rest of the secondary stats are. So you take a gamble, and then after you level up, you start seeing all the secondary stats. Well, now they're trying to change it up where before you level up the mod, you're going to see all the secondary stats. So before putting your credits towards leveling up a mod, you know exactly what you're going to be rolling in the secondary stats instead of hoping and praying to RNGesus that you'll get some speed. And they kind of recommend that you don't mass sell your 5-dot mods, because your 5-dot mods that you have stacked up, you don't know what the secondaries are, and a lot of people just mass delete them. They're saying that you wait until this update goes live so you can accurately decide the value of that mod. And the last thing about mods that we got to briefly talk about is a new feature called slicing. And so I've already talked about when you level up a mod in the future, it's not going to change the color of a mod. So if you have a gray mod, it's going to stay gray all the way to level 15. But you might be wondering, well, is there a way to bump up the color or the tier of the mod? So you go from gray to green to blue to purple to soon gold. And the answer is yes. And the process of changing the color of the mod and also changing the tier of the mod is called slicing. And this is where I'm kind of getting a bit iffy about this whole thing, because they're comparing it to how you craft gear. And pretty much with slicing, it's going to require new pieces of salvage. Yuck, I don't want to farm more gear-like things, which are acquired through mod battles. So that's how you're going to get this new stuff to craft essentially higher tiers and changing the color of a mod. So once you do finally get this new salvage from the mod battles, if you want to increase the mod's tier and change its color, you got to go through this process called slicing. And when you slice a mod, it upgrades a random secondary stat and increases the tier and the color, which makes it roughly equivalent of getting that tier mod in the first place. And one more reason not to mass sell your mods, besides the fact that with this update, you're going to see all the secondary stats of that mod. If you want to do this splicing where you increase the secondary stats of the mods, they only happen for 5 dot mods. So if you have 1, 2, 3, 4 dot mods, you can't do the splicing process, which means you can't increase the secondary stats of your mods. So really what they're trying to do with slicing, it seems like, is to monetize mods, because really mods hasn't really made them money except through the mod packs that I know a lot of people buy. This is going to be another probably more guaranteed way of them to make money off the mod system. Kind of sucks, but they're really trying to get those people who are probably going to get frustrated with seeing gold, green, purple, gray mods on their characters. So they're going to spend crystals to refresh energy, get this salvageable gear, and then get the mod all the way up to gold. That's really what they're trying to do, but there is one benefit I am seeing from this whole process. So if I am understanding this correctly, it looks like there will be one benefit to come out of this. Let's say way back when you got a green mod, and when you rolled it to 15, it had a very high speed secondary, and right now it's gold. Well, after this update kicks in, that mod is going to be reverted back to the color and the tier of what you originally got it at. Let's say it was a green mod. And because it's a green mod, you're going to be able to do the slicing process and potentially get that speed to a higher number, or some other secondary stats such as potency or protection to a higher secondary stat, because you're going through the whole slicing process. But you guys let me know down below. I mean, I'm excited for the KOTOR content, getting the 5 new characters. Hopefully Jedi are better to take on the Sith and be a bit more comparable to them. I'm also excited for saving your mod sets. That's going to be absolutely amazing. And the auto assign function will be nice for beginner players, not really for advanced players, I'm thinking. And the slicing mods, not too sure how I feel about it. I just don't like that they're trying to get money out of this, and and mods already suck as much as it is, but I'll give it a chance. We'll see what happens when the update finally does drop. But you guys let me know down below, what are you thinking? Like the video if you did enjoy it, and subscribe so you're not missing a thing. And as always,